Stephen Strange. The Illuminati will see you now. We will see what kind of Doctor Strange you are.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I decided to make this video at almost 3 a.m. so that I could get this video out as soon as possible because I've been working on it for about a day and I just had to get a few separate thoughts out about the Marvel Cinematic Universe's future. Some of it's pretty close, like Multiverse of Madness, which comes out in less than a week. I want to make this about a couple different things. So first off is the Illuminati. Second is the Halloween special on Disney+. Third is a rumor regarding Mr. Immortal. The last thing is related to Squirrel Girl, but I'll get to that later. So first off, these characters are kind of, I think that they would appear sooner for some of them, and then later obviously for two of them. A Mr. Fantastic variant and Multiverse of Madness could be part of the Illuminati, but I haven't really seen any credible leaks for that. Same for Black Bolt. That's kind of just a fan thing that I've heard a lot of people talk about, because he's also a comics Illuminati member. But the most likely one is Superior Iron Man. It doesn't really matter who plays him. People think that it should be Tom Cruise because of previous casting choices regarding Iron Man. So he could be in the movie. We don't really know this because a lot of the quote-unquote leaks were very fake. But there are Ultron bots confirmed to be in this movie serving the Illuminati. And I find that quite odd if there's not an Iron Man on the team, because in the MCU, he created it. That was part of his arc. The confirmed members of the Illuminati are a Maria Rambeau variant that became Captain Marvel, a Professor X variant that's similar to the live-action Fox movies, kind of combined with the animated series where he has a yellow wheelchair. Baron Mordo, but he's a variant. He's not like the regular version. And a Captain Carter variant. Christine Palmer has a variant in this movie, and I would assume that this makes one of the Strange variants part of the Illuminati, because why would Christine Palmer be helping the Illuminati otherwise? Because she has a main connection to Doctor Strange in the MCU. So, in this universe, if this version is pretty successful, because we see a statue of him in the trailer, and I'm thinking that this means that when Doctor Strange from the main reality is looking at the giant statue of himself where he has like less facial hair and everything, and I'm pretty sure he has a different cloak, that's probably the reality where he meets the Illuminati, right? So he goes there, and then the Illuminati catch him, and they're basically putting him on trial because he's a variant, and they're like, so yeah, he's probably on the team too. So 99% chance that a Superior Iron Man and Supreme Strange are on the Illuminati. So yeah, those are most of the members, so you know, they could fit a Mr. Fantastic or Black Bolt on there. I'm gonna have a link to something about the Mr. Immortal leak for She-Hulk, because I'm pretty sure that most of the videos of this leak have been deleted online. But the main thing is that some audition tapes were secretly recorded and posted online, and the dialogue pretty much indicates that there's a character with the same powers as Mr. Immortal that's going to be in the She-Hulk show. And that's all I'm going to say about that, but I would be excited to see this. I've seen separate rumors about Squirrel Girl getting a series on Disney+. A lot of it is simply speculation or people talking about how it would fit, and I agree, but I can't find any real sources saying that Marvel's planning this. So I will say that the recent podcast that I think is coming out soon, the actress they got for Squirrel Girl is the same one who's played her in a few like Disney Channel cartoons for Marvel, and the unaired pilot for New Warriors, which Squirrel Girl was supposed to be the main character of. I'm pretty sure that they could just get her to be in the MCU eventually if they want to add Squirrel Girl. The secondary part of this is related to the Marvel Studios Halloween special. So on November 4th last year, The Wrap reported that Gael Garcia Bernal has been cast as the lead character, and that turned out to be Werewolf by Night. So on March 11th this year, The Hollywood Reporter said that the special would not be titled Werewolf by Night, And that's something I just found out recently, like a few hours ago. Then on April 21st, it was reported that Laura Donnelly would portray Elsa Bloodstone, an obviously new character to the MCU. On April 27th, it was reported that Ted Salas / Man-Thing would also be there. So Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night being here definitely sets up Legion of Monsters in my opinion, because they're two notable members. And then if Elsa Bloodstone, who has been associated with both Legion of Monsters and Midnight Suns, isn't, she could be hunting down Werewolf by Night and Man-Thing. So that'd be pretty interesting, because I think that they could use this to set up Midnight Suns, because I feel like certain characters could, like, they could be seen as monsters, but then they join Midnight Sun eventually if they make a actual movie instead of like a television special. And I think that since Werewolf by Night is the lead character, it'll probably be Jake Gomez, just because of the casting decision that they made. And since Doctor Strange, Blade, Moon Knight, and Black Knight will continue being prominent characters, this no doubt has to set up or just be related to Midnight Suns in general. And Blade has been heavily rumored to be in this to some degree, and people were trying to connect Blade to Werewolf by Night because Blade deals with supernatural things, mostly vampires, but they were trying to say something about Werewolf by Night being hunted by him. And if that's the case with Elsa Bloodstone, and if they just form any connections between these characters, we don't really know yet. We wouldn't know for a while, for a few months at least, unless there's any reports or leak. But some of my thoughts about both teams are that if we already have Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night confirmed, some other characters that we haven't had are Ghost Rider and Manphibian and Encanto the Living Mummy. So they could definitely be there. And as for Midnight Suns, it's the exact same for Ghost Rider, he could be in that too. And then Brother Voodoo may appear in Multiverse of Madness. He's a major character, seems very underrated, and I would like to see him in the MCU. Not so much for Punisher, not saying that he can't, but I don't know if he's a huge priority if Marvel's going this direction. Definitely could fit, but since he had a Netflix show, I don't know if they'll be too quick, because I know they're doing that with Daredevil and Kingpin, but I don't think they would do that with every character. Not saying it's impossible, that's why I wanted to include him. Probably less likely than maybe like Ghost Rider or whatever. Here's an opinion I have, but since Man-Thing is appearing in this, I don't think that the character Manphibian will be in the MCU version of Legion of Monsters, because Marvel tends to do things like this in the movies. Since Man-Thing and Manphibian have man at the beginning, I think that they don't want to confuse certain people in the audience. Not that they think the audience is dumb or like characters can't have similar sounding names, but like they're both the green, hulking characters. It's like having multiple characters like have the same powers. Like that's not really as common. Not that all characters can't have like shared powers or whatever, like Iron Man and War Machine being on the Avengers together, but I think that they're trying to avoid this. Like if they made a Thunderbolts, which is pretty likely, I don't think that they would put both Abomination and Red Hulk on the team at the same time, because it's kind of like taking the spotlight. Like it's like sharing the spotlight, because they're both like Hulk. So I doubt it. I think they'll just stick with Man-Thing, but they could surprise us. As for Encanto the Living Mummy, he's a notable character for the Legion of Monsters, but he hasn't been confirmed yet, and I think that he's likely to appear at some point. As for Ghost Rider, I don't think that he would appear. They might save him for a Midnight Sun. I'm gonna end this video talking about a couple of the future MCU projects. So the release dates for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and the Marvels have been flip-flopped. So Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania comes out in February next year, and the Marvels comes out in July, I think. And for Fantastic Four, the director, he basically left the project. And I still think that movie's coming out in 2024 unless this delays it incredibly. Deadpool 3 is coming to the MCU. Captain America 4 starring Anthony Mackie is still coming out. Maybe 2024, 25, one of those, depending on delays, because that's happening a lot lately. A Shang-Chi sequel is coming out. I would say maybe 2025, if not 2024. I'm just trying to be like charitable to like if these films get delayed. Same for Eternals. A sequel to that movie's coming out eventually, and I can't wait because they had a cliffhanger with Star Fox and everything like that. Spider-Man 4 is eventually coming, maybe 2025, and then also a mutant movie. Not necessarily X-Men, but I think that it would be similar. And then as for Disney Plus shows, there's going to be one about Wakanda, so we don't really know when that'll come out, maybe 2024. And then there's a 10 Rings series that I think that's what it's going to be about, most likely, based on the Shang-Chi post-credit scene. A Daredevil series in the MCU, you know, definitely different than the Netflix version, and a Nova one. So yeah, thanks for watching again. I just thought I would add that to the end of the video just in case you guys haven't heard of that yet. And yeah, enjoy your day.